Hey everybody, Corey here again with another Xbox Tavern review. Warning, this game is not for kids. Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry is our first foray into the Leisure Suit Larry world on Xbox One and the first game to pick up with Larry Laffer in almost a decade. Going back to the roots of the franchise, Wet Dreams Don't Dry picks back up with the adventure genre in the point-and-click game style. We picked the story back up with Larry in the 21st century, but this isn't an aged character that we're dealing with. No, this is Larry as we know him from the 1980s, and mysteriously awakened 30 years later. We are now tasked with navigating Larry on his ultimate journey to bone this hot chick. Of course, dating has changed massively over the past 3 decades and will prove challenging. Through pretty standard point-and-click gameplay, you control a cursor on a screen. Alternatively, you can cycle through the interactive points using your trigger buttons. These control what or whom Larry will interact with. Whether it's learning about a current task at hand, gaining information through conversation with various dialogue options, or using an item with a certain set piece, there is nothing innovative about the gameplay. Speaking of the sets, there are a decent number of areas to explore with a few scenes within each one, and the artwork is very colorful. I fully enjoyed the style of the game in this HD version. Another top note is the voice acting. Each character with their own unique sound and dialogue stood out and was very much appreciated. Not so much would be the controls. You see, this is a port of a PC game of the same name, and while I typically think this about all point and clicks, a mouse and keyboard are king in this genre. Oftentimes, I'd find myself struggling with the menus or misclicking on items I intended to click on. Snapping to the items using the triggers would have helped out, but I often forgot that that was an option. Additionally, I would like to point out the crux of point and clicks in relation to this game, solving puzzles with the inventory that you have. In Wet Dreams Don't Dry, there are many puzzles, and at some point, they start to get very confusing on what is needed to be done. I recalled to a guide a couple of times to get me through the point that I was stuck at. The inventory probably didn't help though, as you had to carry so many items even at one time. I'm talking more than 24 at once. Often enough, you are combining items to solve a problem, and this can just leave you in a state of guessing by experimentation for a few minutes at a time. It gets a little tiresome. Ultimately, this is your standard point-and-click game with innuendo and just straight-up sex jokes out the wazoo. If you are a Larry fan, this will be for you. If not, just know that the humor is straight from the toilet. Please note that as of the time of this recording, the game on Xbox One is currently incompletable. Close to the end of the game, there is a game-breaking bug that will not let you surpass a certain dialogue option. I've been told a patch has been submitted, and we await that soon. For the final score, be sure to check out xboxtavern.com. See you later.